Okay, since it's a rainy day out, I figured I would share kind of a scary story this time. So, this is a story about the potential ghost that could be living in my house that I haven't told anyone about. I'm the only one that knows that it could possibly be there. Again, I'm a little speculatory as to whether ghosts actually exist, but if they do, we might have one in the same one room. There's a room across the hall from my room that I used to, when I was younger, I used to sleep in that room. And my grandmother used to sleep in the room that I live in now, my great grandmother, before she passed away. And when I was about 7, maybe 8, there was this time. Now, listen, right? We got to establish some ground rules. I was a weird kid. I'm still kind of an odd person, but I was a weird kid when I was little. So what I was doing was it was my birthday party that we were having at my grandparents' house when I lived there. When I lived there when I was younger, because I live there now, but um we had a pool outside. We don't have the pool anymore, but we used to have a pool outside, and I was getting changed into I think I was getting changed into my bathing suit. And so I had taken my shirt off, and what I was doing was I had put my shirt in my mouth, and I got on all fours, and I was waggling my shirt in my mouth around like a dog. Again, listen, I was a weird kid. I know that. Feel free to tell me that in the comments, but I already know. You're not telling me anything new. I was a weird kid. I was waggling it around like a dog and growling and whatever, and I was doing this right next to I had a closet with like opening doors. There were like two opening doors. I was doing this right next to in between my bed and my closet. And for some reason, I stopped, looked to my left, which was towards my bed, and there was a rock floating there. There's a little rock just floating. And I watched it whiz by my head, and I turned my head with it, and I watched it smack against the closet doors. And I very quickly put on my shirt, ran downstairs, and was like crying to my mom. I was like freaking out, and I was like telling all my friends, like, "Oh my god, this thing just happened. I just watched a rock. It was floating, and I watched it fly at the closet doors." And my mom was like, "Please don't tell anyone about that. You're just gonna freak out your friends." She was upset at me for freaking out my friends. But that was the last time that I experienced something in that room. And then, years later, my little sister was born. Years later, I'm living at my grandparents' house again, and she's sleeping over. And she's about 10, no, 9 at this point, and she tells me I don't like sleeping in that room, the same room that I slept in when I was younger, because this is, I sleep in the room across the hall now, and she uses the room that I used to sleep in when I was her age, pretty much. When she comes to sleep over, she uses that room. And she told me, I don't like sleeping in that room. And I was like, why? And she was like, I don't know. It just scares me. And then I think back to the time when I was little and that weird thing happened to me. And like nothing happened to me after that. So this just coming out of nowhere was really strange. It was really strange. And then my grandmother, the one that I live with, only a couple days later, told me I had this really weird dream last night. I was like, oh, okay, what was it about? And she told me that she had a dream that someone in the room, the same room that my little sister said that she didn't like going into, the same one that I used to sleep in when I was younger. She told me that room in her dream, someone kept slamming the door. Someone kept running around the hall and then slamming the door to that room. And she was like, something was in that room and it kept slamming the door. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Because I didn't want to tell her about, what I what I know. My little sister doesn't know. She doesn't know. My grandfather hasn't experienced anything. No one else has really experienced anything in that room except for us three. But neither of them know about each other's stories. I'm the only one that heard them. And I don't think neither of them know either about my experience because I don't want to freak them out. If I told my grandmother, oh yeah, me and Hannah both have had something happen in that room, she'd freak out. She'd be like, no, no way. I don't know if she believes in ghosts or anything either, but still, no, nuh-uh. She would not be having it. And if I told my little sister about my experience, she would freak. She would freak. She would be like, I'm not sleeping in that room. And then I'd be stuck with her in my room whenever she slept over. That's not happening. That for sure is not happening. So, like, I can't tell them this. I haven't told anyone that I know these things. I haven't told my little sister my grandmother's story. I haven't told my grandmother her story or my story that I had from when I was younger. I haven't told anyone. So now I'm just stuck with this information. I don't know what really to do about it because it's not something bad. Like if there is anything in there, it's not like it's something bad. Like nothing else has happened. Like this was like in my many years of being alive and coming to this house, there has been three tiny weird little coincidence incidences. So it's not like anything really that major is going to happen, you know? I still don't really know what to do about it. And then my friend, who was my roommate in college, actually, she came over to my house. We were in my room, and she claims to be clairvoyant, like a little bit. Like she can pick up on things. And, like I believe, that she, I don't want to, I just don't want to disrespect how she feels because I don't know if I fully believe in clairvoyance. Sometimes, there are things that happen that make me go, maybe. But most of the time, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. So she came over to my house before we, moved in together in college. We wanted to hang out a little bit so we could get used to each other a little more. And she was over my house, and I brought her into that room after she was like, yeah, I'm a little bit clairvoyant. I can feel like a really, like, your house has a really nice energy. And I can feel that too. Like, everyone feels a calming energy from this place. It's in the middle of the woods and everything's just nice. My grandmother does a really good job decorating the place. She loves it. But yeah, super cozy. But anyways, she was like, yeah, and I feel a nice energy here. And I was like, oh, you can like feel energies and stuff like that. And she was like, yeah, like I grew up and my house was haunted. So I have a really good like clairvoyance for like the paranormal and stuff and like energies and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, come here. I didn't tell her anything. I didn't tell her about like the experiences that I experienced, but I was like, come into this room with me. I want to see if you feel something. And she was like, yeah, there's a really strong energy presence in this room. And she was like, it's not bad, but it's not good either. It's just kind of neutral. That's kind of how I feel too. Like, it's just kind of there. If anything is there, it's just kind of there. Like, if what my grandmother's dream, if it has any like weight to it at all, you know, it's not that's not really bad. Like, slamming doors isn't that big of a deal. It just sounds like, something's just slamming doors. Like it's not hurting us, it's not doing anything. So, yeah, it is just kind of neutral, isn't it? And yeah, so even she said something about it. So, and that I'm definitely not, I'm not going to tell anyone that either, but I'm the only one in my house that knows this. I'm the only one that knows. And I don't know what to do about it. So, if anyone has any like suggestions, explanations, comments, you want to call me crazy, go for it. Call me crazy. But yeah, like and subscribe. That's about all I have to say for the rest of that. And hey, maybe check out some other videos of mine. I'm gonna try to be posting more often. I feel like I can post a little bit more now. I've been dealing with a lot of mental health issues and a lot of physical health issues, so that's lovely. That's great. Stick around. There's gonna be more of these, more crazy stories. I've got dream stories coming out where like I've got some wild dreams, man. I have some whack dreams and they're really cool. So some dream videos will be coming out soon. So stick around for those. And yeah, subscribe so you can get notified when those are posted if you like my story videos. Bye!